evening. It is Tuesday, September the 17th, 2024. It's 9 a.m., and we are in the community wing of City Hall. I would ask that you all please stand and join me in our Pledge of Allegiance, and following the pledge, you're welcome to remain standing for a moment of silence to reflect, meditate, or pray and pause for just a moment. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Please be seated. Following the agenda this morning, we'll move straight to the proclamations. And our first proclamation this morning will be...
Roll call.
I'm sorry, the roll call.
Mayor Alvin.
Present.
Vice Mayor Danko.
Here.
Councilmember Clufus.
Present.
And Councilmember Pontieri.
Present.
Good. So Councilwoman Pontieri will be joining us and participating virtually today for those in the audience. So now we'll move to our first proclamation, which is Raise the Pink Flag with the Pink Army Month in support of breast cancer awareness. So yes, if I could ask all of the green shirts to come up. So fast. So what is the significance of the green, if I may ask?
The green is
Or is it a secret? We're going to hold that, keep everybody's attention for another minute.
Well, we can, but if
It's
you
up to
notice,
you.
but if you notice,
No,
on the
no, I
back,
saw that part.
What does it say?
What? I know, I got a pink army.
Oh, pink army.
I got a
I
pink
see.
shirt on.
Yes.
I'm with you.
That's good.
I just wanted to understand.
Well, we thought that it would be a change and bring more attention to what we're doing.
I think we've accomplished that. So everybody's got a big smile on. So let me get serious for a minute, because obviously this proclamation is probably one of the most important shares that we do in the course of the year, and so many folks are close to it, have been affected by it, or know someone that is. So we'll just take a minute and go through the proclamation. Whereas breast cancer is the most frequently diagnosed cancer in women, with over 297,790 new cases of invasive cancer are expected in women in the U.S., along with 55,750 new cases of non-invasive breast cancer, and about 2,800 new cases of invasive breast cancer are expected to be diagnosed in men this year. Whereas only 1 in 8 women diagnosed with breast cancer have a family history and 85% have no family history, with an increase in incident rates since 1990 being predominantly in women 50 years or older. Whereas early detection with timely screening mammograms has helped to boost the breast cancer survivor rate to more than 2.6 million in the United States, also resulting in a 40% decline in mortalities since 1989, with women under 50 seeing an even larger decrease due to early screening and detection. And whereas Dr. Say, and can you help me with the name? Sai, last name or first name?
That's her last name.
Oh, okay, pleasure. With Florida Cancer Specialists and Research Institute, has been a dedicated, compassionate, and decorated soldier of Advent Health's Pink Army. And she's tirelessly treated and cared for thousands of breast cancer patients in the city of Palm Coast for over 17 years, with innovative therapies such as immunotherapy and access to groundbreaking clinical trials. And whereas Advent Health and Pink Army, with the support of the City of Palm Coast and our community, has distributed over $150,000, helped hundreds of patients, and performed over 1,000 procedures in direct support to Flagler County men and women dealing with breast cancer. And whereas the city of Palm Coast is joining Advent Health in the Pink Army on Parade on October the 8th. What is it?
6th.
On the 6th, okay?
We got your back.
You got me. Okay, we'll fix that. With a 5K run and a 1-mile pet-friendly fun walk. Fundraising efforts stay local and include early detection screenings, wellness, and lifestyle resources and survivorship education programs to support qualified patients that are impacted by breast cancer. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the mayor and the city council of the city of Palm Coast, Florida, that October 2024 be officially designated as Raise the Pink Flag with the Pink Army Month in support of breast cancer awareness. That seemed like a lot of coursework and a lot of statistics, which are important, so I'm going to rely on you now to explain what we just said and how important it is. Can I ask you to do that?
Yes, good morning. My name is Tony Papandrea. I'm the chairman of Advent Health Foundation. And I've stood up here for many years, and thank you on behalf of the foundation to the city of Palm Coast. We appreciate our friendship, our partnership, and the things we've done over the years. And this is just part of it. I've stood up here for many years and talked about statistics and things like that. I brought lots of help today. And I'd first like to introduce the CEO of the Flagler St. John's Market Share, our CEO, Denise Bales-Chubb.
Thank you, Tony. So as we come together today to proclaim October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month in Palm Coast, I want to recognize the collective strength in our community in supporting this important cause. Breast cancer touches many lives, many of our families throughout this entire community. And the city of Palm Coast has long been a champion of health and wellness. With breast cancer affecting 1 in 8 women, it is essential that we continue our efforts to spread awareness, promote early detection, and provide the support needed to those battling the disease. At Advent Health, we are committed to providing the best possible cancer care right here within our community. And with the opening of our new Freytag Cancer Center in January of 2025, we will be able to provide that support and additional technologies right here in our community. I encourage every resident of Palm Coast to take part in events like our Pink on Parade 5K, October 6th, not just to support breast cancer survivors and fighters, but to ensure that everyone in our city is aware of the importance of screenings and early detection. Thank you.
And next, I'd like to introduce Sean Rotund. He is our Director of Cancer. And come up, say a few words, Sean. He's the one that's going to run that beautiful new building that you see going up on 100.
Yes, hello, thank you very much for this. The partnership that we experience from the city of Palm Coast is pretty amazing. And I'm a new resident here, and that community support is the reason why I chose to make Palm Coast my home, and just very excited to be here and be part of this event and the new services that will be offered here at Advent Health. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Next, we have Johnny. Many of you know Johnny. He's the owner of Oceanside down on A1A, and we've known each other a lot of years.
Oh, since Manny's Pizza. Second generation.
Show us the panel.
So on top of this amazing event, we've also done a partnership to bring some fun to the area. The Southern Recreation Center that I've also voted for in favor of, being on the tourism board. I think we can bring a lot of people together for a great cause. The Oceanside family personally has been hit by breast cancer, and it's a lot more heartbreaking than a lot of people realize. And I would just like to say we're putting this event together. It's going to be October 25th to the 27th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's a 3-day event. There's 4 different brackets. I'm going to get as much information as possible out to everybody. I'm also going to publicly challenge Mr. Nick Kloufis.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted.
Hey, thank you, sir.
We have on Friday, the first day, is going to be an open, mixed, fun night. So I suggest if you've never played, grab your significant other and go out there and kick some butt. Other than that, I'm so proud to be a part of this. Everything that Advent Health has been doing has been nothing but bettering our community. So I really do appreciate another great business in our community. And I'll see you guys all on the court.
And I'd like to introduce Cindy Delecki. A lot of you know her. John Suber's there, not going to speak. But we'll close it out with our two double Ds, Denise and Danielle.
Hello, everyone. I'm Denise Fernandez. She's Daniela de Souza. We are with Homes for Heroes Flagler, and we are thrilled to be here today. We love serving the heroes of Flagler County by helping them achieve their dream of home ownership.
One of the things that I'm sure everybody agrees that makes Flagler County so special, just kind of what we all talked about, is our strong sense of community. And that's why we are such passionate supporters of the Advent Health Pink Army 5K and Pet Walk contest happening on October 6th. I think everybody can say that now. Cancer has touched all of us in some way, whether it's been ourselves, a friend, or a loved one. For me, it's very personal. My grandmother had cancer, and it had a profound impact on my life.
At the Pink Army 5K and Pet Walk, all the proceeds stays right here in Flagler County to help those who need it, which is awesome. When you work with me and Daniela at the Homes for Heroes Flagler to purchase a home, heroes including law enforcement, military, healthcare workers, teachers, and firefighters, you receive a discount on closing costs. And after closing, you even get a check back between $3,000 to $5,000.
Denise, what was the exciting announcement you wanted to share?
We are extending our discounts to help all cancer survivors and those who are currently facing treatment, because to us, you are all heroes. For more information, visit homesforheroesflagler.com.
Help us pack out the event. Homes for Heroes Flagler will be providing fun prizes for the winners of the Pink Out Your Pet contest. So make sure to check in your pet at our tent for the contest and register to come to the event. It's pinkonparade.com/Palm Coast to sign up. Thanks. Thank you.
And thank you all. Get your screenings, get your diagnostics. Come join us on October the 6th, and thank you, David.
I just do me one more favor, just
Sure.
introduce that gentleman.
I didn't
because
want, I
think
didn't
that's
know if he,
important as
I
well.
didn't know if he wanted to be introduced, so.
Well, you go ahead.
Back sitting at the wall there is Wally DeQuino. He is the CEO of our new Parkway Hospital that opened up on Palm Coast Parkway a little bit more than a year ago, and what a success it has been. Y'all don't wait in the waiting rooms anymore when you go to the ED, and that's because that new hospital is opened up. And you can get your diagnostics there, you can do your blood tests there, and you can get sick there, and we'll make you well. Wally DeQuino.
All right, everyone, so, they put the call out, please come and participate. They really need to see you there, so bring somebody else with you, double the fun. We've been involved every year for many years now. It is a lot of fun, so come out and show your spirit to support this wonderful cause with everyone. So let's get a picture if we could.
Thank you.
Well, I didn't get a specific answer to why the green, but I guess they're going to tease me for a bit longer. But I know that we're going to move right to the blue shirts next. So if I could ask all of our stormwater personnel to come up and join me, if you would be so kind.
was a terrible game this weekend. I see that.
Okay. Obviously, the reason to bring everybody up front is to make a dramatic impression and look at the size of the force that we have out there to fight for us with regard to storm water, one of the things that we have to battle literally every day in Florida. It's a part of our culture, it's a part of what we do, and these are the folks that protect us and make it happen every day. So you can see just by the number of folks and the dedicated look on everybody's faces that this is a formidable part of the workforce that keeps us safe here in Palm Coast. And they have a very serious look, which is good, but you can smile a little bit. That's okay. So the proclamation goes like this. Whereas since 2011, the last week in September has been nationally celebrated as Stormwater Awareness Week. Whereas through the support of municipalities across the country, Stormwater Awareness Week aims to educate the public on the importance of stormwater operations and its role in environmental preservation, restoration, and protection. And whereas we recognize the City of Palm Coast Stormwater and Engineering Department to be an essential part of our community who provide innovative solutions that help us maintain our quality of life while also prioritizing the vital functionality of our natural habitat. And whereas we understand the value and importance of upholding an optimal standard of stormwater services in our community that is focused on the future, and whereas it is imperative to remain committed to educating the public on the importance of stormwater and preservation, not only in our community, but around the world. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Mayor and City Council of the City of Palm Coast, Florida, that the week of September 23rd through 27th, 2024 be officially designated as Stormwater Awareness Week. So with that, I congratulate and thank each one of you. Who's first?
You get to grab it.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Lynn Stevens. I'm your Deputy Director of Stormwater and Engineering. Polluted stormwater runoff discharged into rivers, lakes, streams, and other waterways can result in death of wildlife, destruction of vital ecosystems, contamination of drinking water resources, disruption of recreational activities, and presents a public threat to health. A major source of pollutants in our waterways is a result of stormwater runoff that flows directly into those waterways. Common sources of stormwater pollution are sediments, automotive chemicals, litter, debris, household hazardous chemicals, bacteria, nutrients, fertilizers, yard and pet wastes. It's imperative that pollutants be prevented from entering our stormwater system. Stormwater connects all of us in some way, whether it's as simple as floating a paper boat during a rainstorm or dealing with the aftermath of a hurricane. The connection between stormwater, drinking water, and the quality of our lives needs to be acknowledged in a way that will inspire action and empower us with the knowledge we need to improve and protect our waterways. This week provides us an opportunity to encourage greater efforts to reduce stormwater pollution, educate the public, and celebrate the men and women who work tirelessly all year round for the residents of Palm Coast. Carla and I would like to take this opportunity to applaud and celebrate our staff. Thank you.
Anybody else? All right. You got it. Yeah, you got it. Double up. Come on, just come out this way. Make a little part.
every single person but smile.
Thank you.
Okay, I have one more proclamation, and then Councilman Clufus will have two additional proclamations, so let me just settle the room for just a moment. Okay. The next proclamation is Suicide Prevention Month. Whereas suicide is a complex public health issue that affects individuals of all ages, backgrounds, and communities. And whereas over 50,000 people committed suicide last year, and whereas suicide is the 11th leading cause of death in the United States, and whereas the month of September is designated as National Suicide Prevention Month to raise awareness, reduce stigma, and promote mental health well-being. And whereas the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, now reached by dialing 988, provides 24/7 free and confidential support for individuals in distress, prevention and crisis resources for those who care about someone, and best practices for professionals. Whereas the Rotary Club of Flagler Beach, the Rotary Club of Flagler County, and Flagler Open Arms Recovery Services are committed to supporting mental health initiatives and providing resources to individuals and families affected by suicide. And whereas it is essential to create a culture of hope, resilience, and support for all members of our community. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Mayor and City Council of the City of Palm Coast, Florida, that the month of September 2024 be officially designated as Suicide Prevention Month. I had asked you all to come closer together because this is a problem that only gets solved if we come and work together. So would someone like to comment? Would you? Oh, thank you. Very good. Please.
First of all, Mayor, Commissioners, thank you for the proclamation. We all appreciate it. So up here we have a combination of Flagler Oars and the Rotary Club. Cindy, who everybody knows, and Matt Helston represent both the Oars and the Rotary Club. And then over here, we have Hope Walton representing Flagler Oars, and I'm Pam Bertolo. So I want to thank you, and also we want everyone to join us Thursday evening at 5:30 in a walk up and over the bridge for suicide awareness. So we'll meet down at the bottom of the bridge and wind up in a Veterans Park for a short celebration, but it's a good little walk. So we hope everybody from the community joins us. And also, if you or anyone you know would like more information about 988, the suicide number, we have lots and lots of information, and we're happy to bring it right to you, to your workplace. So thank you.
So obviously I ask you to please come out and support this event or any event that these folks collaboratively do together, because I'm sure that they would agree with me that this problem is getting more difficult to deal with. It's not getting easier. It's not, and I'm ashamed to say it, it's not getting better, it can only get better if we all come together and give a little more effort and keep on it, going forward. It's really that important, and again, it's not something that any one of us can solve, but as a group, I think we can make a difference, so thank you so much. Very good, okay. That's okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you guys for being here today. Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely. No, thank you. Absolutely.
Councilman Clufus will take us out with the remaining two proclamations this morning.
Absolutely, let's do that one first then. How are you? Okay, good morning. This proclamation is for National Recovery Month. So if I could please, absolutely, if you guys don't mind doubling back, anyone who is here for this proclamation, thank you guys again for being here this morning. Thank you. Whereas, each September, the United States Department of Health and Human Services Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration sponsors National Recovery Month. Whereas the 2024 National Recovery Month theme, Recovery is for everyone, every person, every family, every community. We explore how integrated care, a strong community, a sense of purpose, and leadership contribute to effective treatments that sustain the recovery of individuals experiencing substance use disorder. And whereas substance use disorder is preventable, treatment is effective, and people can recover. Whereas to help more people with lived experience achieve and sustain recovery, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, Flagler Open Arms Recovery Services, and Oxford Houses invites all residents of Palm Coast to participate in National Recovery Month. And whereas the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration encourages residents to participate in National Recovery Month to learn more about how to help people achieve and sustain long-term recovery. And whereas Recovery Month celebrates the gains made by those living in recovery. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Mayor and City Council of the City of Palm Coast, Florida, that the month of September 2024 be officially designated as National Recovery Month. Signed this 17th day of September 2024, Kaylee Cook, City Clerk, and David Alphin, Mayor, City of Palm Coast, Florida. Thank you very much. Absolutely.
This is the fourth time we've accepted this proclamation, fourth year, and I have to tell you that the support from the community and from this commission, it just continues to grow. Let me give you an example. Last year, we gave out over 2,500 boxes of Narcan. We provided almost 900 sessions of recovery coaching, and the numbers just go on and on. We're seeing a decline in overdose deaths here in Flagler, so we're very, very proud of that, but we can't let up. We just cannot let up. So again, on behalf of the staff, including these two who you've already met, and my board, we just want to thank you so much for your support. And shameless plug, we culminate this September Recovery Month in our annual festival, Recovery Festival. Again, this is our fourth one. And this year, rather than being in Veterans Park, for those of you who've been in the past, it's at the Ag Museum. And we will have a dozen food trucks. It's almost like a food truck event. A dozen food trucks. We have over 50 exhibitors, most of whom are social service agencies coming out to show the public what services we really do have. And then we will have, of course, all of our musicians, including an Emmy-nominated musician, Mary Gauthier. So we welcome you. It's totally free. Parking is free. We welcome and encourage everyone to come join us to honor Recovery Month. And besides, it'll be fun.
What is it?
I didn't say, did I? It's a secret. It's this Saturday from noon to 9. The music starts at noon and goes till 9. So we have some wonderful local bands and some wonderful almost local. The other thing that you all should know, you know, Flagler is our home, but we expanded this year up into St. John's. So we just continue to grow, and we continue to recover out loud in both of these communities. So thanks for your support.
All right, ready? First pick. One more. Yeah. All right, one more. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, you got both. Nice. Back to back. I like it. Okay, the final proclamation for today. It is Hispanic Heritage Month. So if I could please have everyone come up here and join me who is here for Hispanic Heritage Month, that'd be absolutely awesome. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for coming today. Morning. Morning, guys. Thank you guys for being here this morning. Morning. Better than I deserve you. Good. Morning. Hey, thank you for your service. Yeah, thank you guys. Morning. Wow, all right, excellent. Thank you guys for joining us this morning. Whereas the city of Palm Coast is proud to recognize and celebrate the rich cultural heritage, contributions, and achievements of Hispanic and Latino Americans who have enriched our community with their diverse traditions, customs, and talents. And whereas Hispanic Heritage Month is a time to honor the cultures, histories, and vital contributions of Hispanic and Latino Americans to our nation, fostering a deeper understanding and appreciation of our shared heritage. Whereas the Palm Coast Flagler Chamber Hispanic Business Alliance has played an integral role in promoting the economic development, cultural exchange, and social integration of Hispanic-owned businesses within our city, strengthening our communities through their dedication and entrepreneurship. And whereas the Palm Coast Flagler Chamber Hispanic Business Alliance has consistently demonstrated its commitment to fostering an inclusive and thriving business environment, empowering Hispanic entrepreneurs, and advocating for diversity, equity, and inclusion within our city. And whereas the city of Palm Coast is committed to recognizing Hispanic and Latino culture and heritage as an important part of the city and its strong, diverse community. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Mayor and City Council of the City of Palm Coast, Florida, that September 15th, 2024 to October 15th, 2024 be officially designated as Hispanic Heritage Month in the City of Palm Coast, and encourage all residents to join us in celebrating the diverse cultures, traditions, and contributions of Hispanic and Latino Americans. We also commend the Palm Coast Flagler Chamber Hispanic Business Alliance for their outstanding efforts in promoting economic growth and cultural enrichment within our community. Signed this 17th day of September 2024, Kaylee Cook, City Clerk, and David Alphin, Mayor, City of Palm Coast, Florida. Thank you.
Excuse me. I'm short. Thank you. Good morning. My name is Monica Garcia, and I am honored to serve as the co-chair of the Hispanic Business Alliance alongside our chair, Johnny Vasquez. As a proud Colombian American and Flagler County resident, I stand here before you, and I am grateful to stand here before you. On behalf of our organization, I would like to take the time to thank the City of Palm Coast for recognizing the importance of this proclamation. This proclamation is significant, not only to the Hispanic and Latino communities, but to all of the residents of Flagler County. It acknowledges the vibrant contributions the Hispanic Americans have made across various fields, from the arts and sciences to business, education, and public service. Hispanic Americans have played a crucial role in shaping the rich, diverse culture that defines our community. together with the Hispanic American Cultural Society, which actively promotes Hispanic culture, heritage, and language. We are committed to committed to fostering civic, cultural, and social engagement. Our shared goal is to build a united and resilient community for tomorrow. Excuse me, the Spanish accent comes out sometimes. Hispanic Heritage Month serves as a time to celebrate our history, culture, and resilience. It inspires the next generation to take pride in their heritage and to continue to contribute to the growth of our society. By celebrating Hispanic heritage, we bring our community closer together, promoting unity and understanding. So I challenge every single one of you. I encourage each of you to explore our local Latin businesses. Visit a Latin restaurant, a cafe, or a market. Or immerse yourself in the festive spirits that we are known for. Visit one of the Latin nights. Go out dancing. Or you can simply strike a conversation with someone who looks a little different than you. Small acts of engagement and curiosity can transform our city into a more welcoming and inclusive place for everyone. Gracias.
All right, then I guess we get together and take a picture, huh? Want to say a few words? Well, good. All right. Nobody has a name. We can hear a piece.
Sure. All right, let's get a little bit closer. We all love each other. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. All right, I think I got everybody.
Very good. Thank you, everyone. The next item, E, on our agenda this morning is public participation. In order for city staff to be able to respond to your questions or concerns, please fill out a comment card with your contact information. The comment cards can be found on the table near the agendas or available from the communications director with their hand up in the rear of the room. Anyone wishing to speak may approach the podium, provide their name, and may speak for up to 3 minutes. Please direct all comments to the mayor. Be concise and to the point. Avoid delaying or interrupting the proceedings. And do not make any irrelevant, impertinent, or slanderous comments. Any person who becomes disorderly may be barred from making any additional comments and may be removed. And with that, I open up the podium. Is there any member of the public that would like to comment at this time? Yes, sir.
Good morning. Mark Stansel, Seminole Woods. A couple of meetings ago, I brought up the idea that down on Seminole Woods, they started clearing land for a housing development, and there's supposed to be a buffer. And I mentioned that they were cutting all the trees down. Well, I got a real nice response from Mr. Ray Tyner explaining the 40-foot rule and the 25-foot buffer to include that. However, I don't think he went out there and saw that, because I went out there with tape measure and I measured it, and they honored the 40-foot rule off the road, but they cut all the 25-foot buffer down, all of it. I even took pictures of it. But, you know, I could rant and rave, but somebody from the city needs to go out there, because that's supposed to be the code. You know, there's supposed to be a 25-foot buffer, and they cut it all down. And I think there's something wrong there, and it needs to be investigated. So I'm just being calm about it and bringing it to your attention. Thank you.
I thank you for your comment. Is there another speaker? Yes, ma'am.
Jeannie Duarte. In just 2 meetings, I witnessed serious unethical behaviors from each and every one of you. And being silent in the face of evil is evil. You knowingly and willingly place deceptive language on a ballot for vote and use unethical voting practices to do so. It has become clear that you have already implemented changes to our charter and have saturated the city's website with your intentions. This is unlawful and violates charter law, as well as Florida statutes, Florida law, and the Constitution of the United States of America. You are hereby notified of this demand to immediately cease and desist from making or causing to make any and all changes to the existing sovereign powers of the charter which govern the city of Palm Coast for the remaining of your term and pending further investigation. For individually or collectively, you are harming the citizens of Palm Coast. That is a problem, Clufus. And yes, it was me behind you, Mayor, at the post office, and you do not control the city of Palm Coast. And you, acting city manager, and you, city attorney, you are the gatekeepers of the charter, and you have failed the citizens of Palm Coast. Thank you.
Is there another speaker that would like to address me at this time? Yes, sir.
John Lugerai, Oceanside. I had to come out and mention the 17-year-old that got struck by a dump truck yesterday and dragged for a very long way. He was one of my employees at Oceanside. He was with us. Yesterday would have been his 3rd month with us. This was Dylan's first job. He rode his bike over 10 miles to work for his first job. Just turned 17, August 24th. I just had to think about that for a second. A 16-year-old kid in the year 2024 riding his bike 10 miles to his first job. The rarity of his character should be recognized, and for his parents for raising such a stand-up kid. The grit that he had, it needs to be recognized. Dylan Osborne, may he rest in peace, and may the city move quicker on the Pine Grove intersection improvement. This Osborne effect that it's having on our family right now, my brother called me yesterday after speaking with the mother, and tell you what, we don't get shaken up much, but just hearing about his mother being apologetic about him missing work, I mean, that just crushes you. And I'm going to do anything I can to help this family. I know they created a spot fund. I'm sure on social media you'll be able to see it, help the family out, but more importantly, this Osborne effect that he's had, I'm going to do anything I can to further that and try to teach that character in our young kids. I have over 100 employees at 2 locations, and character like that is so few and far between in this generation. And I just wanted to make sure that you all knew about it and that you can do anything to help further more kids like Dylan and try to keep us, I guess, make the roads safe, even safer. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Johnny. And make sure that you leave some information for us back there, if you would. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Well, amen to that. Good morning, Jeffrey Seib. My comments today are regarding the Council's economic development presentation from last week. The City of Palm Coast needs an enhanced economic development plan right now to take us forward into the 21st century. We won't be able to rely on home development to drive our ad valorem revenue forever. We must take steps now that will enable us to develop a talent-based economy of the future. Economic development, as I see it now, does not involve home or multifamily developments, so these should not be included in any economic development plan. A community of diversified, resilient businesses that provide decent pay and benefits to workers with and without college degrees. We must have the city's amenities that will retain this talent here, like neighborhood parks, sidewalks, trees, and a robust nightlife for the younger set of all denominations. These are the things we need in our community, the environment, and more commercial development. Forbes tells us that some of the careers of the future will be in healthcare, personal care assistance, physical therapy assistants, data analysts, cybersecurity, robotics, virtual reality, hospitality, service workers, and logistics will all fit in to the city's plans for growing an economy that will expand the tax base rather than depend almost exclusively on homeowners. The choice of a consulting firm should not be locked in for any length of time in the event the new council wants to move in a different direction. Also, any city ownership of facilities should be approached in the same manner. What is unmistakably clear is that we need economic development. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Any other? Yes, sir. Either one.
Steve Carr, Palm Coast. The photographs I'm passing out are due to the heavy rain that we've been having, and it really shows a need for some real improvements as far as the infrastructure goes. Neighbors around my neighborhood complained about smelling sewage in their homes. One even said that the water in his toilet was pulsating up and down. And the pictures there say it all, because here's the water bubbling up out of the manholes. I've been here since 1998. That's been a problem over there, as far as I know, as long as I've lived there. There's the infrastructure's not handling the water in that area. That's a long time for that to keep going on. And a lot of people that drive down Florida Park Drive down to Island Walk finds out when they get down to Island Walk, when there's heavy rain, that street's flooded. Even within Island Walk itself, the drains are not working properly. So we really need some infrastructure help along those areas. The water is just, it's not draining. I don't know how else to tell you. I mean, the photographs tells it all. But the other thing that tells it all is it's been going on since 1998. So please do something for the infrastructure. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Mayor, Council, thank you for the opportunity to speak. First, accept and convey my...
If you would just introduce yourself, just so we have...
Oh, sorry, yes. Kirk Whittington. Accept and convey my compliments to your staff. I read recently that Travel Leisure Magazine voted Palm Coast #1 out of 160 communities nationwide with a population of 75 to 100,000 as being a travel destination for senior citizens. #1 out of 160. That's outstanding. In addition, the same publication the previous month identified Flagler County as being a great area for retirees to buy property. Compliments to your staff. Obviously, you're doing something right here. Second, I want you to accept and convey my compliments to your sheriff's department. I understand that a couple of weeks ago we had a home invasion up in St. Johns County. That home invasion resulted in the invader being thwarted. He decided to steal a Ferrari to try and evade. If you're going to try and evade 5-0, that's as good a vehicle as any. He came down here to Flagler County, which was a mistake. And I believe it took about 3 hours with the helicopter helping, but eventually he's now in jail, which is where a person like him needs to be. Thank you. Third, you have a gentleman that has spoken to you before that has urged you to help balance the budget to not give a raise to your county manager.
city manager, excuse me, as I would urge you to just disregard that. In my professional experience in my past, I've worked with many fine city and county managers. The good ones are very hard to come by. It's not an easy position to have. They not only have to be the interface between the politicians and the staff, but they also have to manage the city. And clearly, this Travel and Leisure magazine and others have showed you, you're doing something right here. Before I moved down here, I looked at two others. USA Today had a ranking of, you made the top 2 out of 5 cities in Florida as the best place to live. There was another one that got you number 1 out of 10. You're doing something right here. You had a gentleman that just spoke to you. My past experience in Georgia was I worked for about 10 years with my ex-wife in the consulting business. She was a registered landscape architect. I was an ISA certified arborist. She designed projects. We also did tree protection and protection enforcement of tree ordinances for several communities. I also worked for DeKalb County at the time that they were just white hot. Several things need to be done to enforce promises that developers make. Unfortunately, the saying is that you believe nothing of what a developer says and only half of what they print. You need to find a way to enforce that, and I'm running out of time, but there are many ways you can do that. If I can volunteer my time to help you with that, I'd be happy to do so. Thank you, everybody.
Good. Thank you for your comment. Is there another speaker that would like to? Yes, sir.
Good morning, thank you. My name is Brandon Orlando. My wife and our 3 puppies live in the Peace section, and we're happy to call Palm Coast home. I'm originally from Northeast Ohio, small community, rural, graduated, high school, 67 people in my graduating class. Pop-Pop taught me the ethics of hard work and dedication early in life. And it's that's instilled a strong desire to preserve the community and contribute locally. Now, in the past, I've worked in construction. I'm familiar with the application and permit process and bringing from bare land up to where you put trusses on. Now, I run a software implementation team across the country. Before I was running the team, I managed $1.6 million in reoccurring revenue, just my accounts. That's not to be braggadocious, it's just to say I can work with a lot of people, a lot of the time, a lot of different characters, and I'm happy to do so. One thing that I can't do is stand on the sideline and watch what's happening and just voice an opinion and not participate. So I'm here with my application to the PLDRB, and I'd like to submit my paper application to wherever it needs to go. And volunteer my time. What I've seen as a resident, when we bought our home, everything was paid for before they started the build process. Every home that came up was already sold. And throughout COVID, it's transitioned to now homes are still for sale. Now homes are for rent. Now homes are Airbnb'd. And this is not the type of community that I moved into. Trees are gone, empty houses, and I would like to volunteer my time to do whatever I can. With your permission, I'd also like to thank Councilmember Pontieri. The September 4th Flagler Live article was repulsive. So anything I can do to help, I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment.
Can I give this to
the clerk, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Are there any other members of the public that would like to comment at this time? Seeing no one come forward, I will close public comment. City council members, any response to anything in particular this morning?
I would just say that we can't make charter changes without having a formal charter review process, so that's the only erroneous comment I want to comment on.
Councilwoman Pontieri, is there a comment that you'd like to make at this time? Hearing none, I will move forward, and we will move to the section of our agenda today, which would be appointments.
Mayor, if you want to approve the minutes.
Want to do the minutes first? Okay, we'll do that. Yeah, you're right. Okay. If I could have a motion to approve the minutes of
Make that motion.
for the business meeting held on September the 3rd, 2024. Vice Mayor has made the motion. Is there a second?
Seconded.
Councilman Clufus has made the second. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed?
Motion passes.
Thank you. Similarly, the budget meeting held on September the 5th, 2024. May I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
I have a motion from Councilman Clufus. May I have a second?
Oh, I'll second.
Second from the Vice Mayor. Thank you. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Are there any opposed?
Motion passes.
Thank you. And finally, the minutes for the workshop held on September the 10th, 2024.
motion.
The Vice Mayor has made a motion. Is there a second?
Seconded.
I have a second from Councilman Clufus. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed?
Motion passes.
Very good, thank you, and thank you for the reminder. Now we'll move to letter G on this morning's agenda, which would be the appointments. And Virginia, are you going to introduce?
Yes. So, good morning, Mayor, City Council. This item is to appoint 4 members and 1 alternate to the Planning and Land Development Regulation Board. There are 9 applicants. There is pursuant to state law that they are designated as the local planning agency, making recommendations to City Council regarding the comp plan, comprehensive plan, the land development code, and development applications. Further, they act as the final authority, subject to appeal to City Council on special exceptions, and the City Code states that all appointees shall be limited to 2 consecutive terms of office on the same body unless the City Council by 4/5 votes determines that it's in the best interest for that applicant to continue on. To exceed that 2-term limit. Also in the Code of Ordinances, in appropriate circumstances, City Council shall make every reasonable effort to ensure the City Council districts are equally represented. So therefore, we need to make sure there is someone from each district represented, and currently that one would be, we need to make sure District 4 has an appointee. So that's what this item is about, and each member is available. I do know one member that said he couldn't make it due to training, and that was Mr. Decker, Garrett Decker. He was going to send me an email. I'm not sure if Mr. Decker had plans changed or not, but I know due to his job, he was unable to attend this morning.
So at City Council's pleasure, you have a package and you've had a chance to look at the resumes. Do any members of City Council want to speak directly to the applicants this morning? Vice Mayor, do you want to have a conversation?
Well, I'm just saying, are there not a couple of applicants here that are also applying for our open city councils?
Yeah, so I know.
I'm like, which job do you want?
Well,
It's kind of where, you
Okay.
know, and if those members are here who are applying for both, I'd like to know which job they actually want.
Mayor, if I may, I do know under one circumstance, Ms. Schenk, so the applications for this came in several months ago, and then the opportunity for Councilmember Hyder's seat came in. So she got a little confused as well with regards to, I thought I was applying for council when we did the background check, and I said, yes, you are, but also a few months ago, you were looking to be on PLDRB. So if you choose her today as PLDRB reappointment, she then goes on PLDRB, but she can also then still be an applicant for the city council seat 4, and then that seat on PLDRB would then open up again.
Right, so she gets one, and then if she gets the other, we're back to square one again.
it's back up almost,
So
yeah.
it's like, I want to know which job does she want? If she's here, is she even here?
I don't think Sandra's here this morning.
Okay.
And then there's a second person too, is that correct?
That would be applying for the...
For both?
For both. And I only saw the one, unless I missed one.
Just one?
That's all I saw, yeah.
Okay, so,
I don't know how to answer your question,
Yeah,
other than...
I'm not gonna
it's-
put
it's-
somebody
It's
here
kind of a
and then-
timeline, so I guess that'll affect your vote,
it
perhaps?
totally,
Okay.
yes.
Are there any other members of the application pool that you would like to speak to?
No.
So just for clarification, it is our duty to try to diversify the applicant, or I should say the seated members across all of our districts, right? And could you just, for posterity, just, it's District 4 that we are lacking currently?
Right.
Correct.
Understood.
And if I may, Virginia, the gentleman that spoke earlier, I don't know what the process with regard to his interest. Is he part of this pool, or is that for the future?
No, he is part of this pool as well.
Okay, all right, I missed that part. Very good. Okay, I just want to make sure that we didn't lose that. Councilwoman Pontieri, were there any members of the applicant pool that you needed to have or wanted to have an additional discussion with prior to our selection process?
No, Mayor, I reviewed the applications and everything provided by the applicants. Thank you.
So with that, I guess I would ask each city council member to mark your sheet accordingly, and then I guess the clerk will collect them from us. Is that the best thing, if you would?
How are we marking these?
I think an X.
So there is one for each seat, voting tally for each seat. So if on top, it should say this is for Planning Board Member Albano's seat,
Okay, so
and he
it's-
did request to be reappointed.
Got it, all right. So we basically have 3 others where there's 2 candidates or more, right? Got it, okay.
And Virginia, should I just email you my selections, obviously since I'm virtual today? How would you like me to do that?
You can announce your voice vote after the 3 that are present, give those votes to Clerk Palmer.
So just to be clear, how many X's are you looking for in the bottom half of the sheet?
On this first one,
Yeah.
it's just for Albano's seat,
Just
so we're
one,
looking
right?
for one
Right,
check.
okay, and
Yep.
then we're going to get additional sheets, okay. I didn't think it was clear.
It's not clear.
Okay, this sheet is for one seat.
Just one seat,
Yeah,
not
I
for
know
the
there's a lot
different,
there, and I
yes,
wanna make sure
okay,
you-
now, because there's different districts.
Yes, exactly. So you got to pick one at the bottom there.
I got it, okay.
Thank you. I agree, it was,
Councilmember Pontieri, if you could do a voice vote, please.
This is only for Mr. Albano's seat, correct?
Correct.
My vote would be for Mr. Garrett Decker.
Okay, there are also 2 other votes for Mr. Albano and 1 vote for Ms. Shank, Sandra Shank. So I think we need to vote again. There's 2 for Albano, 1 for Shank, and 1 for Garrett Decker.
This could get confusing
well,
amongst
I'm
us.
sorry, so one had 2 votes and the others each had 1?
No. There
Oh.
were 2 of you voted for Mr. Albano,
Yeah,
and 1 voted for Ms. Shank, and then Ms. Pontieri voted for Mr. Decker.
So that means
So
one
somebody-
person got 2 votes.
one
What if
person
they
got 2
win?
votes, that's it, right?
Virginia?
am I missing?
Or does it need to be 3?
Majority.
It has to be, oh, okay.
A
Sorry.
majority.
Sorry, I was confused, sorry about
Okay,
that.
so we need a majority. So.
We have them.
Have it.
We have it.
2
That's
to
what I
1 to
thought.
1.
Yes.
We do, I'm sorry for the confusion.
All right,
That's for District 4.
The next seat will be for Charles Lemon's seat. He also requested to be reappointed to the board.
right. And did you announce who the appointee is?
The appointees will now be
The one we
Albano.
just voted on.
Yeah, so Albano is appointed in his seat,
Just for the
so he's
record.
no longer a choice. The rest of them will remain as a choice.
Now, help us with the districting now, because we don't have a way to help
So
process.
Ms.
Personally,
Shank's
I'm trying-
seat is District 4. She resides in District 4, and there are 1, 2, 3 applicants for District 4. So when you get to Ms. Shank's seat, you can then appoint for that seat as well.
So personally, I'm trying to fill District 2 in this one, just FYI, so we're all on the same page.
Wait a second, say that again.
I'm trying to fill District 2's position here.
He's trying to fulfill the.
We already
obligation
have
we have.
remaining members on District 2, so you don't, the only one you have to really
It's 4.
focus on district is District 4.
Got it.
So 2, it's 2, we don't have to worry.
Four.
Okay.
No.
Four. Don't throw in numbers like 2 and confuse us, Nick.
Fair.
Charles Lemon.
Well, we're still yeah, Charles Lemon is District 2.
Okay.
Okay. Virginia, the board meets once a month?
Yes, the third Wednesday of every month, and then they do occasionally hold special meetings as well.
Here or community center?
Here.
Okay, Councilmember Panieri, did you want to announce your vote?
This is for Mr. Lemon's seat.
Yes, ma'am.
My vote would be Paulette Hatfield.
Okay, so we've received one vote for Paulette Hatfield, one vote for Sandra Shank, one vote for Mr. Stansel, and one vote for Charles Lemon.
So pass them back out.
Yep.
Let's go one more time.
Just to be clear, Ms. Shank is running again for her own seat, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so that vote is coming up to
Correct.
just reappoint her.
Or appoint someone else as council's pleasure.
And the term again, Virginia, for this seat?
The terms for this seat are 3 years, I believe.
3?
Yes. No, it's 4, I'm sorry.
And Councilmember Panieri, did you want to announce your vote?
Paulette Hatfield?
Okay, so we have one vote for Hatfield. We have 2 votes for Mr. Charles Lemon and 1 vote for Mr. Stansel. So Mr. Lemon will be for this district.
Okay, next one.
The next one is for Sandra Shank's seat for District 4. And the choices for District 4 will be Ms. Shank and also Gene Spur and Zachary Marciano.
And you're asking us to be sensitive to the balance for District 4?
Correct.
So didn't we just do District 4?
That's why I said 2.
So
No,
I'm-
Charles Lemon was District 2.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Charles Lemon was from District 2.
So we haven't filled 4 yet?
We haven't filled 4.
Correct.
Correct.
But who's on first?
On second.
Okay.
You gave me 2 pages here. Does that mean I get to vote twice?
No, it does not. Not on the back either.
Not on. All right, here's one, and I don't know, we may need this again, so I'll just hold on to it for a moment.
Okay, and Councilmember Panieri, would you like to please announce your vote?
Sandra Shank.
Okay, so we have 1 for Sandra Shank. We have a second vote for Sandra Shank. We have 1 for Mr. Stansel and 1 for Mr. Marciano. So Ms. Shank will be reappointed.
Okay.
The next one is the vacancy of Clint Smith, and you can choose anyone you would like.
Pretty much at large on this one?
Correct, because all of the seats are now filled.
Thank you. So just remind us of so we could scratch off the folks that are currently appointed.
The first 3 have been reappointed.
1,
Albano,
2.
Lemon, and Shank.
Yep.
So your options are the rest.
And Decker has not been selected yet.
Correct.
Thank you.
Councilmember Panieri, would you like to announce your vote, please?
Mark Stansel.
Okay, then we have a second vote for Mr. Stansel. We have 1 vote for Mr. Orlando, and we have 1 vote for Mr. Decker. So Mr. Stansel is appointed.
Okay.
The next is for the alternate position.
And the alternate attends each of the meetings?
Yes,
Okay, not just on demand or when there's an absent, they actually go to every meeting?
correct.
Okay. And again, at large, it doesn't make any,
Doesn't make a difference.
Doesn't make.
So your options are Decker, Hatfield,
yep,
Marciano, Orlando, and Spur.
okay. And just for the audience's edification, the resumes and the applications for each one of the applicants were provided to City Council prior to the meeting for their review, so they could go through the detail on each of the applicants.
Yes.
Councilmember Panieri, would you please announce your vote?
Mr. Decker?
Okay, we've received a second vote for Mr. Decker, one vote for Mr. Orlando, and the fourth vote for Mr. Marciano. So Mr. Decker is appointed alternate.
Thank you. We now move on to,
No, you need to make an appointment for each of those with a vote, a totality vote. So it would be a motion.
confirm.
Yep. a
Okay, do you
motion
want to read them off to us? And then I'll need one of you to make a motion.
So we're voting to accept the vote that we just
What we just
voted
did,
on.
yes.
Yeah.
Should we vote on that? Just
Pass a piece of paper out.
So you're making a motion saying you pass that
We're just confirming it.
on the appointments.
But do you want to go ahead and read the selection in? Yeah.
Okay, the selections are Mr. Albano will be reappointed, Mr. Lemon will be reappointed, Ms. Shank will be reappointed, Mr. Stansel will be appointed for the first time, and Mr. Decker will be the alternate.
do I need to second that, or I need
No,
to
no,
make
would you like to make a motion that those folks are who we voted for?
I'll make a motion that those folks are fine.
Very good.
We're good with it.
May I have a second?
Yep, I would second.
I have a second from Councilman Clufus. Any other discussion? Councilwoman Pontieri, any final discussion?
No, Mayor.
So all in favor, please signify by saying,
I would just like to say
I'm
thank you
sorry,
for-
okay, hold on, yeah.
Thank you
my
for all the
fault.
applicants that came out today, and I appreciate Mr. Orlando getting up here and giving his piece, and thank you to all the other applicants as well. Just appreciate it.
Good.
You know, and we don't need to send this out to public comment, do we?
Yeah, we do.
We do.
So we haven't voted yet, so they caught me just in time. So I would ask, are there any members of the public that would like to come forward and comment on on this agenda item?
Or is there any members of the public that could come up with a less confusing way to do this?
But I would echo Councilman Clufus that we appreciate each and every one of your thoughts and willingness to come forward. I mean, I don't think the public generally understands how much time, especially this board in particular, spends and the level of detail that they consider in advance of any of this coming to City Council. So without that happening, the work up here would be next to impossible. So I echo his comments and thank you very, very much to everyone. So there is no public comment. I'll close public comment. With that, I would ask all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed?
Motion passes unanimously.
Very good, thank you.
Okay.
Next item.
What's that?
You want to open the next item?
Yeah, so the next, okay, yeah. So additional appointments, now we're going to go to what, code enforcement?
Yes,
The Code Enforcement Board will require 3 appointments.
correct, and there's 3 applicants.
And there are 3 applicants, so Vice Mayor, we'll get through this one. Are there any questions regarding the 3 applicants
So
from
can
City
we just
Council
make a
members?
motion to
We
adopt?
can, I just want to make sure that everybody has
Mr.
an
Mayor,
opportunity.
just one
Yes.
quick, can you just restate the requirements for, because we do have one candidate
Thank you.
that is asking to be reappointed past the 2-year term limit. So there is a certain.
4/5 vote.
4/5 vote.
Yes.
You just find
So there is one requirement for Mr. Mugford. He's already completed 4 terms. He would like to be reappointed to the board, so he would require a 4/5 vote.
A 4/5 vote, okay, so how can we do that?
And if you vote for them, it would have to be a unanimous vote, since Councilwoman Hyder's seat is open.
So all of us, so unanimity.
Would have to be
Okay,
unanimous.
and he's the only applicant that we currently have.
Correct.
Okay. So if none of our city council members have a question about the applications or the applicants, then let's follow the same procedure. I would ask for a motion and a second, and then we'll go to public comment. Well, public comment would come before the vote, right? Help me with
Instead
this.
of doing the vote on paper, can we just go
That-
ahead?
that's fine, that's
Yeah.
fine.
And
If
I'll
you guys
make
would
a
like to do-
motion that we accept all the applicants.
And just for posterity, it's because of the number of applicants matches the number of open positions.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's because of the number of applicants that match the number of positions. Sorry about that. I got hearing aids the other day, so I hear everything really clearly now. Sorry about that.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second, but we do need to have public comment. So I would open this up, and I think it's clear. So there were, again, three?
Three
There are
applicants.
three applicants,
and
there are three positions. One of the positions is, requires a unanimous vote today because we're extending the amount of time that the applicant is going to serve beyond what would be a normal term.
Correct.
Okay? Very good. So with that, I would ask, Councilwoman Pontieri, any question on that?
No, Mayor, I have no questions.
Okay, thank you. Then I would ask all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Are there any opposed?
Motion passes unanimously.
Very good, thank you. And now I'm introducing the last of the appointments today, which would be for two members of the Affordable Housing Advisory Committee, commonly referred to as the AHAC Committee.
Right. This one also has two applicants, and we have two seats that we can appoint to. This is a collaborative board with the Flagler County Housing Advisory Committee, and there's certain requirements that we need to meet between the county and the city for the members to hold. We have two applicants today, which is Terry Baker, and the second one is Tamara McRoy.
And they, because there are different job requirements and different qualifications, and these two fulfill the requirements of the
board.
of the
Committee.
advisory board is what it is. Advisory board to the county, is that correct?
Yes.
Very good. All right, so with that, I'd ask for a motion.
I'll make that motion to approve the two applicants.
Vice Mayor has made a motion to approve the two applicants. Is there a second?
Seconded.
Councilman Clufus has seconded, and I would again open up for public comment. Is there any comment or question about this advisory board? Please, come forward, yeah.
Mayor Alflin and the City Council, I want to thank you for this appointment for the Affordable Housing Committee. My name is Terry Baker, and I also represent United Community Mortgage here in Palm Coast and Cedar Bridge Foundation. I'm not a speaker, so I'm just going to go with what I have to say. Cedar Bridge is a special needs organization for adults with special needs, and we're all fighting this battle in our communities across this country for affordable housing. My daughter over here is, she's my personal assistant today that's come out to help me with just what I'm doing to help adults with disabilities. We have such a need. I had a speech prepared, and I'm sorry, I'm gone off of it. Because I've been in mortgages all my life, I know how hard it is to get employment and housing for people with disabilities. Moving here, I'm originally from the Tampa Bay area. There's a little bit more opportunity because it's a bigger place. Here in Palm Coast, we're smaller. The resources are varying. And one of the biggest things for our adults is that just finding them housing anywhere. My daughter is high functioning, and she doesn't belong in a group home. And to be able to find a home for her is very difficult to do in any place in the United States at this moment. The housing rentals are at $2,200 just for a 3-bedroom house for her to rent. I've been working with builders here locally, trying to navigate housing for my daughter or rentals here for my daughter. So it's not just about my daughter, it's about every person who has a disability, even in the geriatric community, because they need housing or their benefits they're losing through the economy. I really appreciate the opportunity to be on this council to represent people with disabilities, and also through United Community Mortgage, because of my experience in housing and how we can all collaborate together to bring affordable housing to Palm Coast. Thank you.
I thank you. I'm the former chair of that committee for a number of years, so I hope you'll be loud and proud at the committee. It is a public meeting, so please express your thoughts there, so they'll make those recommendations to the county commission. I appreciate your comment. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any other public comment at this time? Seeing none, I'll come back to city. Seeing none, I'll close public comment, and I believe we have a motion and a second on the floor. Yes?
You have it.
Yes.
Okay, then with that, I would say all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed?
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. So that wraps up all the appointments, and just for the public's interest, those appointments come up on the calendar now. So they needed to be filled in advance of the, change in seats and change in terms. It's part of the rotation. So it is the responsibility of this council to make sure that those seats are filled. So we've taken care of that now. Moving forward, we move to letter H on the agenda, which would be ordinances of the first read. And Counselor, if I would ask you please to read that in for us.
Ordinance 2024-XX, amending Section 25-52, local amendment to Fire Prevention Code relating to burning.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. Kyle Berryhill, Palm Coast Fire Department. We provided a presentation at the last week's workshop that demonstrated that currently our code is out of compliance with the state statute. We did a lot of research to try and see where we'd be able to make an impact on the issue related to land development, clearing pile burning, and it appears that our only recourse would be to lobby our state representatives to see if they'd be willing to amend the statute. That is a power that's delegated, or authority that's delegated to the Florida Forest Service, who is a great partner of ours. And so this is the first read of this ordinance today. Is there any questions?
I mean, the real question is this going to help us? I don't want to set false expectations.
So I would say that what it does is it creates clarity associated with bringing us into compliance with what the state statute has. As our ordinance was on the book, we didn't have the authority to execute some of the things that we said, and we needed to get in line with how state statute reads. And make sure there's not a false expectation of the power that we possess.
But it certainly wouldn't prevent, or it might encourage the next city council to lobby further with regard to those, I guess, in Tallahassee that really kind of call the shots on this. So that could be a continuing lobby effort. So at least we do what, we yell about it and see if we can get somebody to listen, right?
That's correct. And we'll continue to lobby for best practices and things that we can do to protect our residents, or to advocate for what our residents have told us pretty loudly. So we'll continue to advocate for that position.
Okay. Questions from anyone? Councilwoman Pontier, any question on this particular ordinance? It's a little bit frustrating, but I guess it's the best we can do right now.
It is frustrating. Chief Berryhill, I appreciate your work on this. Like I said last week, I know you got the runaround from quite a few people, and so it's taken some diligence and perseverance on your part, and I appreciate it. I will say I am researching a few other things. I know we need 2 reads of this ordinance, and today is the first read. So I just want to represent that I understand the ordinance is what it is right now, but I am still doing just a little bit of research. And Marcus, I'm going to be reaching out to you because I want to make sure that we just cross every single T and dot every I. And that is in no way to impugn the work that our chief or legal counsel have done. But as I think we've all expressed, there's a little bit of frustration at the lack of home rule in this regard. So I'm just looking at the statute one more time to just make sure that there's nothing else that we can provide in our own ordinance that gives us a little bit more control. But like I said, I'm happy with approving the ordinance today, but just want to be completely candid that I'm still looking into this just to make sure we're being super diligent.
All right, thank you. We appreciate that very, very much. So if there are no other comments from the dais, I would open this item up for public comment. Are there any members of the public that would like to comment on this first read ordinance today? Seeing no one come forward, I'll close public comment. Any final comment from the dais? So I think a voice vote is fine. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed?
Motion passes unanimously.
Very good. Thank you for that. We now move to agenda letter I on the agenda today, which is our consent agenda. Are there any items on the consent agenda that city council members would like to speak to before I open it up to the public?
I have none.
Nothing? Okay. Councilwoman Pontieri, any items on the consent agenda that you'd like to speak to?
Just really quickly, I
Yeah.
want to thank Mr. Adkins for his work and Mr. Duffy and their work in amending that contract for the cell tower, just to make sure the city is capitalizing on the most monies that it can get. I know that those updates were made, so I appreciate that. Other than that, no comment.
Thank you. Then with that, I would open up the consent agenda for public comment. Are there any members of the public that would like to comment on the consent agenda at this time? Seeing no one come forward, I'll close public comment. I don't believe there's any additional discussion on the dais, so all in favor of approving the consent agenda, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed?
Motion passes unanimously.
Good, thank you for that. We now move to final public participation. Are there any members of the public that would like to address me on any topic that was not previously discussed on today's agenda? Seeing no one come forward, I'll close public comment. I'll come back to the dais. City council members, any final comment at this time?
I do not.
Councilwoman Pontieri, any final comment at this time?
Yes, just one thing, Mayor. Well, first, I just want to apologize for my absence today. Unfortunately, my household has come down with COVID. So I apologize for the silence. I don't want to be coughing in the microphones.
No, we appreciate your being remote.
Additionally, though, I do want to just try to get consensus from our board. I know that we have had numerous conversations about the lack of capacity of the Flagler Humane Society, kind of the challenges that they've had, and expressions from the public and volunteers that we've experienced. And I think that most people could agree that there's a capacity issue at the Humane Society. We're growing. We know that we're going to be growing west, and that the Flagler Humane Society just needs some help as far as, you know, their ability to bring in more animals. I know yesterday at the Board of County Commission meeting, they discussed doing a state appropriation for either land or a building or something to that effect in order to either expand the Flagler Humane Society or come up with an alternative for animal shelter services. And I believe the BOCC is looking for a letter of support from our council so that we can make it a joint ask and perhaps increase the likelihood of success. I would ask that council join in that just a letter of support, asking for appropriations so that we can provide an additional shelter, whether that's land or a building or something to that effect, for our animals. I think we've heard from even people that work for Flagler Humane Society that they've currently got dog kennels behind the front desk in bathrooms. They're just beyond capacity. Again, I don't think that this is anything that anybody has disputed. So I'm looking for support from council in that regard. I understand it's not time for us to put forward our appropriations yet, but I do know the BOCC is looking to start formulating their asks. So to the extent it will assist them in that regard, I would like to know what everybody's position on that is.
I just have one question, Councilwoman Pontieri. I'm not quite sure where the conversation regarding the sheriff left off. Now, this could be, I'm not sure they're mutually exclusive. They could perhaps be combined. I think even if the sheriff were to be involved, and certainly can't speak to that, that additional resources, whether it be land or whatever it is, support, let's call it, is probably going to be needed in any event. And I would certainly be supportive, but I would like to know how the sheriff's piece might fit into it, because I'm not clear on that yet, nor have I had a conversation. But I would be supportive.
Same.
So you have 3 council members and yourself, so you've got unanimity in the city of Palm Coast support. So what I would suggest, would you mind working with the city manager to draft a letter, which is really, it's really a marketing letter to promote the fact that we are supportive, that an improvement needs to be made in our ability to deal with the issues that the Humane Society faces. Would you be willing to do that?
Yeah, certainly, Mayor. I'm happy to work with staff in that regard, and I thank my colleagues for support in this matter. I know we all love our furry friends, so really looking forward to finding a solution that works for everybody.
Thank you for bringing that up. Any other comments from city council members? I think not. Then I'll go right to city councilor.
None for me, Mayor.
Nothing for you, city manager.
Yes, Mayor. As a part of your packet is the emergency and sole source report for August of '24. Okay, just 2 reminders. Tonight is Food Truck Tuesday, supporting the Pink Army and breast cancer awareness. And then this Saturday is the waterway cleanup that starts at 8 a.m. at the community center. And then we will reconvene our meeting this afternoon at 1 p.m. to review the seat 4 applicants.
And while we're having discussion here, so just so I'm clear, ballpark numbers, we're looking at approximately 15 minutes in total per applicant, assuming all the applicants are here, which would mean potentially 3 minutes of a intro and then 12 or so minutes of Q&A. Is that what everybody kind of understands?
Depends on the applicants.
Only because we have a 5 o'clock hard stop for PLDRB here. So I've just done the arithmetic backwards.
So don't ask lengthy questions.
No, I don't want to discourage that. But I just want everybody to be comfortable going in that that's the timetable that we're trying to work to, but I certainly wouldn't deny anybody the opportunity to either vet, ask, or get through the interview process the best way they could, okay?
So question.
Yeah.
There's no public comment at the beginning or end of this, or is there?
So public comment would follow as if it were a regular workshop.
One at the beginning, one at the end?
Yeah.
Yes.
There would be, but not after each applicant. Well, it's one, that's just one item each.
Right.
All of the applicants constitute a single item. So beginning and end, if that.
I think we can get through it.
Yeah, I do too. We'll stick to that, okay? Does that work? Is that what staff is thinking?
Yes.
Would it be appropriate now to go ahead and ask for the process, the administrative process of choosing? I know we're not doing that today, but we have to get that discussed. I'd just like to get that out of the way now. In other words, would we be perhaps ranking and picking the lowest number?
Last time we voted.
Yeah.
Simply voted. They each came in the room, one last shot at it, each went out of the room to the back room, and then we voted. And that's kind of where we're at.
So you've got 11. So tell me about the vote piece. How do you see that
We have
working?
a vote, and if nobody gets a majority, we then have to re-vote and re-vote and re-vote until we finally get at
So you
least-
vote after each one? No.
We vote at the end. Yep. That's how we did it last time.
So you'd have 11 names, and then you would pick one?
Each of us would pick one.
Okay.
Yeah. And if one person got 2 votes, just like today, that would seal the deal, correct?
We could do a top 5 Thunderdome style if we wanted to.
Yeah, we could.
No.
I say coin flips.
No.
Coin
So,
flips.
all right, this is important. Come on, guys.
Just for clarification, you have a workshop on September
Yes.
24th. On
That's
this,
when we'll be doing this, not today. But I just wanted to clarify the process.
well, is there anything that you're looking for staff to prepare for you for that workshop?
I think it's just a list of all the names.
Just a list.
That's what I'm hearing. And Councilwoman Pontieri, would you like to weigh in on the method of selection?
I am kind of in favor of shrinking the pool, to be quite honest with you, but I don't know how we would do that. I mean, we've got quite a few applicants and.
Yeah, it becomes arbitrary to some extent, which is horrible.
Yeah, that's the problem. I agree. So I don't have any suggestion. I think that we're doing this the right way and providing multiple hearings for people
Yeah.
to be able to come and speak. So I don't have anything else.
All right, so staff has that direction. I mean, obviously, we can discuss it again, but there you have a process now that we're working towards.
And I just want to clarify this with our attorney, since there's just 4 of us. Do you need 2 votes to win or 3 votes to win? So it would just be simple, 2 votes could do it, or?
It'd be a majority of this council.
So it needs to be 3.
Yes.
No, if you had 2, 1, and 1, right? So if 3 candidates were selected, 1 candidate had 2 votes, and 2 other candidates each had 1 vote, does that constitute a win or not?
So in your scenario, say you have 3, we'll say there's 4 candidates, and I don't know, 3 of those candidates get 2 votes each. You want to make sure there's a majority. So as long as there is a candidate that has a majority vote from this pool, which, yes, it's complicated with the 15. I'm trying to get it down to your fact-specific question it's similar today. It's like whoever has the majority votes at the end.
Simple majority.
Simple
If you have
majority.
1 more vote than anybody else, you win.
Because then we codify it with our full vote, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay,
So, yeah.
I don't understand with the 4 and the 6, but, because there aren't that many of us.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
All right.
I probably made it more complicated than
All
I
right,
had.
so are you, yes.
Are we, sorry, Marcus, I just want to make sure, I mean, because that seems to me to a 2-1-1. Oof, I don't like the feeling of that at all. I would hope that we would need, I mean, I would hope that the pick would be unanimous. Obviously, we can't
Yeah.
guarantee that, but are we sure it doesn't need to be 3 out of the 4 and it can still be the 2-1-1?
Let me give you let me do a little more research.
Okay.
Because this
All right,
is
so-
a big topic, so I can give you a better answer.
Council, get back to us on that, Teresa, because I agree. It's like I'd like to be absolutely sure, and 2-1-1 is not, is not hitting it out of the park. I absolutely agree, but we do still have time to consider the process. We are not going through that process today. We're only doing the interviews, so we can make sure that we get it right and do it well.
And if we were voting on something today, and it got 2 votes yes, 2 votes no, it would fail.
Correct.
Wouldn't be a majority of the council. So I'm
correct.
wondering if that 3 vote may be the way we have to go.
Let's the council come back to us and give him his
But
opinion.
I think we've all flunked math today, and that's just sad.
All 5 of us.
5 of us.
5 of us.
Yes.
All right. So Marcus, you'll let us know at the beginning of the next workshop, I guess it would be, right?
Yes. If not
And the next workshop after today will be on the
24th.
24th. Very good. Councilwoman Pontieri, do you have any final questions? Are we clear now?
No, Mayor, no questions.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? Very good. And City Manager, you've already brought up your topics?
Yes, see
So-
you at 1 o'clock.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second? All right, second. Nice hat. Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you.